welcome to another one. Increase your status fast to start landing quality dates with quality women, with amazing women. 5 instant changes. If you start doing these today, you're gonna see a big difference in the way that women relate to you and the way that women like you and become attracted to you and in the speed that this happens. Okay, so I'm gonna give you these 5 hacks today. And there's quite a lot to talk about, so strap in. And if you are very serious about improving your dating life and improving your skill set and mindset, we have the community that you can be a part of. It's only fucking serious guys that I let be part of this community because a rotten apple spoils a bunch. There is infinite accountability, support, and guidance. And the link is in the description. And without further ado, let's go. Number 1, why should you listen to me when it comes to status and attraction? Number 1, a good reason is that I have been teaching men how to do this, how to attract women, how to create relationships for, quite a long time. That's like 15 years plus. So I already know a thing or two, and I have helped literally hundreds of men improve their dating life when it comes to that, when it comes to women. And obviously status is a big part of that. We'll see exactly why. This is literally the video where we're analyzing exactly that. Okay, so number 2, I have personally had plenty of experiences with amazing fucking girls. All of these girls were amazing and still are probably amazing in their own right and in their own way. And bro, there's nothing I love more than creating epic experiences and amazing relationships with beautiful, inside and out beautiful girls. So I've been making experiences for 15 years. So yeah, I feel that I do have a thing or two to say about how to create status and how to create attraction. So the contents of today's video are gonna be these 4 themes. Number 1, what is status? Number 2, how to recognize status and what the benefits of status are. Number 3, why do girls like status? Why don't you like status? You know what I mean? Why isn't it important for you, for your girl to have status? Like, this is kind of important, okay? And I want you to understand this. And number 4, how to increase your status so that you can have this streamlined interaction where the girl becomes attracted to you and you're off to the races and you're having a good time. So, what is status? Status is an association. It's like a brand, okay? Before we even get into the slide, I want you to understand this. Status is one of the 6 attraction triggers, and I talk about the attraction triggers a lot. In my other content, I talk about them in my course as well. Course comes together with the community, by the way, so if you want to get into the course and have a direct download of everything I've learned about dating the last 15 years, literally everything, everything's in the course, so grab the link down below, like I said. But one of the 6 attraction triggers is status. So girls have needs, have different needs to be able to be attracted to you. Okay, once the needs are fulfilled, the lock is unlocked and attraction is possible. What do I mean by that? Here's a couple examples. A girl needs to be able to respect you so that she gets attracted to you. If she can't respect you, there's no way she will be attracted to you. A girl needs to be able to get wet for you, to get attracted to you. If she can't get wet for you, bro, there is no way she'll be attracted to you. A girl needs to be able to let go and surrender to be attracted to you. If she can't do that, she cannot be attracted to you. So all of these needs correspond to a respective character trait of yours. So her being wet corresponds to you being dominant. Okay, again, if you want the full breakdown, look at my other content because this is way too much and definitely beyond the scope of this video. But one of her needs, and it's a major one, especially like a social one, is being able to feel like it's a win to be with you. Okay, she needs to feel that it's a win to be with you. And if she feels that, then the potential for attraction gets unlocked. You're able to attract her that way. And that corresponds to status. I'll say that again. Her feeling like it's a win to be with you and not an L, you need to have status to fulfill that. Okay, so what is status? Status is 2 things. On the one hand, it's like a brand. It's an association with an emotion. An association not necessarily only with an emotion, but also with a an abstract, some abstract term, like something that's not tangible, something that's intangible. Okay, what is it? It's an association with value. It's the moment that she sees you, you represent more than what meets the eye. So like, what she sees is, of course, that plus other information. That's a little unclear, I realize that, so let me drill into it a little bit more so that we can make it a little more clear. Status is your relationship to other people and your potential to create successful relationships with other people. That is the specific thing that she needs to associate with you. So if you are able to, in aggregate, kind of demonstrate that, usually when you create a relationship with somebody, it's a win for both, and you accumulate these successful relationships, the aggregate of that, that's what status is. It's the possibility, the probability of, if she has a relationship with you, that it's also gonna be a successful relationship. Successful relationship is what? When at least her, if not both people, come out of it as winners, like having like a surplus in some kind of way, like having some kind of like plus, having gained something out of their relationship. And a big part of it, and like, is how people respect you. Okay, now that's the first part. It's the association of your brand with successful relationships. That's number one. Number two is your position on the social totem pole. So inherently, we people have value, and all of us have the exact same value as humans, and that is non-negotiable, and that is like, that's natural law. However, socially, not all are created equal. Some people have more value, some people have less value, okay? Imagine in a zombie apocalypse, there's like a group, and this is like a do or die moment. It, like, some people have to be sacrificed, and obviously I'm not advocating for like killing people, sacrificing people. It's just like kind of an example for you to understand like what the value differentials are and why they are important. If you need to sacrifice some people for the group to survive, who are these people gonna be? And it's gonna be the people that have the least status. It's the people that matter the least in a social setting. And that basically means that everybody's social value is comparable to another. And out of that comparison, somebody comes on top and somebody comes out on the bottom. And this is a ranking. So where you rank on that social totem pole is your status. Okay. With that out of the way, I want you to also understand that there is micro and macro status. There are communities that, you know, perpetuate themselves in a length of time and like meet in events and stuff like that. And you can be a part of that community and slowly build status in that community. And I talk about that in extent in other material of mine. And you build that status through competence, through relationships and stuff like that, through curating your relationships in that way. And there is micro status as well, which micro status is the status that you can build on one given night. It's like a one-use only manufactured status that you can create on an event that runs for one night. Okay, so that's a lot easier to do because it doesn't need maintenance throughout time. If you're building macro status within a community, an established community in a city, that obviously takes a little bit more maintenance. So today we're going to be talking a lot more about micro status because this is again about quick fixes and quick tips. So, how to recognize status and what are the benefits of status? There are three ways that I've laid out for you today. And the first one is, if there's a person that's got high status, you will know about them or you will know of them before they're introduced to you. And the key here is this, that they might not know about or of you before they're introduced to you. So people of higher status, bro, people usually talk about them, okay? So their reputation will precede them in that way. Now, that's how you know somebody's got high status, because he is mentioned. Okay, they are mentioned. The second way is that they associate with others who have high status. If you already know that, like person XYZ and person ABC has high status, the people that you see associating with them, they, by association, by implication, have high status too. You can, you know, it is more probable that they do than they don't. Let's just put it that way. And number 3, and this is one of the things that we're going to be learning today, is that they communicate in a high status way. And for now, before we get to that slide, for now, you will for sure understand what that means. If I tell you that somebody comes up to you, looks you in the eye, and has an impact on you. You might not even know them, but I guarantee you that there have been moments in your life where somebody approached you, or you might have approached somebody, where you get mildly starstruck just by talking to them. And that effect, that is a giveaway that, yes, this person has high status. It's the way that they carry themselves, they show up and they present themselves, the way they communicate and talk to you. Because that gives you a direct impact that is unlike what most people project, okay? And that's how you know somebody's got high status. This is a way where you don't have to see them in relation to other people at all, but still you will know, okay, just by merely how this person expresses himself, Jesus, man, like, okay, I understand this person has high status, probably high self-esteem, is very respected, holds themselves to high regard, is held to high regard by others. That's how you recognize high status. So if you are ever in doubt, this is the list you go down to make sure that you're talking to a person of high status or not. Now, why do girls like high status? There's 2 reasons, both reasons equally valid, completely different vibes though. Number 1, status is directly linked to survival because, and we're talking about biological wiring here, the high status ape had the maximum chances of survival. And that was not, by the way, the strongest ape or the biggest ape. That was the ape that had the highest status in the tribe. That was the ape that other apes, even the bigger apes, would die protecting. So if you're this ape's girl, your chances of surviving are by definition the highest. So that's why every girl is hardwired to seek out high status. She's maximizing her chances of surviving. And you as a guy, you're not seeking the highest status. You have no reason to maximize your survival that way, because the way that you propagate your DNA is rather by seeking out health characteristics and femininity. Okay, so it's a very different thing that that respectively men and women are attracted to. Now, number 2, that's a more insidious one, but equally valid, is ego, bro. It's comparison and superiority. It's like how you feel dating the super cool guy versus your friend Mary who's dating the mid guy. It's like being able to rub it in her face to a certain degree. Maybe some girls are not going to admit it to themselves, and we're not above the process either. We definitely, as guys, have shit that is ego related and works in that way, and it's going to be equally hard to us to admit that shit to ourselves. But girls, it's another benefit to be able to say, okay, like my guy is like the most respected guy, okay? Because again, by association, you'll be equally respected as your guy. So if you're dating the high status guy, you're the high status gal, by extension. And that goes both for yourself as the girl and for others. So like, you will feel like after you start dating the high status guy, if you're a girl that feels not very high status, that feels that she does it, or that doesn't have a high self-esteem by default, this will definitely feel like a good change of pace to you as a girl. Okay, you'll feel like you're better than your old self. And you'll definitely feel, like I said, that you're better than your friend Mary. So these two reasons are kind of important and the reasons why girls like status. What does this tell us? This tells us that status is incredibly important and that you should seek to maximize it both in the micro and in the macro. So, with that said, here's where you're gonna ask me, yo, Alex, how do I increase my status? Today we're gonna talk about how to increase your status in the micro, and for that, I need to preamble it with this. Women notice nuance in social interaction and in their periphery. So, attraction is always found in the smallest moment, in the shortest, like in the slightest, most subtle change, interaction, shift, moment. It's things that you don't really notice, especially as a man. And there are things like how people react to you, how open somebody's body language is towards you, how you personally stand, and we're gonna see that in the next slide as well. So I want you to understand that everything around you matters. Okay, this is so important because a lot of guys, especially in an event at a venue, they're gonna go out and they're just gonna look for the girl to approach and create, hopefully, a situation with her. And by the time they've gotten to her, they've either completely fucking lost because they've done so much wrong by that moment, or they've at least missed out on so many awesome opportunities to set themselves up to be at a really good threshold the moment they open. So when you go to start an interaction with a girl, even if nothing has happened between you and her prior to that, there's already some history in her head about you. She might have noticed you, she might have seen you out of the corner of her eye and assessed how other people interacted with you. And based on that, she's already made some judgment. So when you go in, are you gonna be working against that judgment, or are you gonna be, fighting a downhill battle, so to speak? That is why this is so important to you. So I want you to play the long game. I want you to, when you go into a venue, when you go into a room, when you when you are at an event, I want you to understand that everything matters. Every little interaction matters. So make sure that you lean back when other people talk to you so that they lean in, so that if a third person notices that, you appear as the person with the highest status in that interaction. Make sure that you introduce people to each other, because when you do that, you are the winner out of this, and more people will know you. So by the time you get to the girl that you're really interested in, you've interacted with so much more of the crowd that the whole room already loves you, okay? This is why it is so important to build your status, and you can definitely build it in a micro environment without having to be famous or popular in a community or something like that. You can build it in any given night, and it's so easy. You just need to take the right actions. Okay, you need to talk to a lot of people, introduce people to each other, make sure that you share positive emotions, smile. That's a big one. I want you to always smile, because this is biofeedback as well. And like I said, play the long game. Okay, and if this is too abstract for you, we are gonna go into high status communication. So on the one side, you can create micro high status by introducing people to each other or working the room. Making sure that, and by the way, think about what I just said. a few slides ago, I said, you know that a person is high status if they get introduced to you and they don't even know you. But thinking about the previous slide, the very previous slide, if you've introduced the whole room to each other, now people are gonna start talking about you. So maybe somebody's gonna talk about you to a girl you haven't even met, and she's gonna know about you based on something cool you did or something cool you're wearing. And by the time you get to her, she's already heard of you. Okay, this is how the game is played. And now, the other side of that is high status communication. Is how you project your voice, how you use your eye contact. So it's how you basically carry yourself. Now, there's 5 basic elements to that. We're gonna go over them briefly, and that's basically the 5 hacks. Number 1, posture. If you want to improve your posture, look up Alexander technique. Super easy. Think about a string being pulled tied to the top of your head and just straightening up your posture. Number 2, eye contact. Look at the girl's left eye only. That makes your eye contact super steady, and that comes across super, super high status. Vocal tonality. I want you to look up vocal projection. It has to do with how you use your diaphragm and being able to breathe into your belly. Number 4, and speaking out of there, okay. Number 4, reaction time. If somebody addresses you and you immediately turn to them and answer them, that's a lot lower status than if you take your time and then address them. So if you practice only that, dude, this comes across so much more masculine and so much more high status. You're basically demonstrating exactly in accordance with number 5 as well. You're basically demonstrating that you have enough time and that you're not pressed for time. You're not stressed. You're not thinking that somebody's going to interject. You are comfortable with taking up time. And equally, number 5, you must be comfortable with taking up space. Just like make yourself relaxed and wide. Make yourself just spread out. Okay, these are all high status traits. This is high status communication. Now, obviously in this video, I don't have time to go super in depth into each and every one, but it is so easy to start implementing even one of them, and the reactions that you're gonna get from girls are gonna be so much different, dude. Okay, so remember this. If you want to improve your dating life, again, join the community by clicking the link in the description below. Thank you for watching this video. Click subscribe because I'm posting a lot now. And like the video, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Okay, peace.